Hi, I'm Chris Montoya and I sell houses. And this is Celeste at Chrysalis. And she sells all kinds of fancy stuff. And this is Cyrus. Hi Celeste, how are you doing?
I'm good, Chris.
Okay, let's get right into it. So how did you come up with the name Chrysalists?
Well, I'm about to go into my 13th year of business.
Okay.
And in 2009, I bought an existing consignment store
Okay.
that had a different name.
Mm-hmm.
And it was always kind of the prior owner's old store. And when my 5-year lease expired where I was and this beautiful space opened up, I thought if I'm going to get to move and do all those changes,
Yeah.
let's pick something that reflects me. And the Lord just seemed to download Chrysalis, and I came up with the logo, and it just worked.
So growth and transition and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's an awesome
Yeah.
idea. So tell me a little bit about your consignment store. What sort of stuff do you consign?
It has to, the more current it is, the better. I tried vintage for a while, but Cañon doesn't really embrace vintage as much as other communities do.
Yeah.
So the closer it is to what you're going to find at the mall, in the condition you find at the mall, consignment should never be any clothing that you could ever tell wasn't new, and the nicer it is, the better it sells. And I've got formal wear and casual wear and jeans and active wear. And
So it's the sort of store you have to come in because you don't have specific inventory all the time.
No,
And things
I have
rotate
one
and
of a
change.
kind.
Yeah, so things rotate
Every
and change. And if you might actually need something like a prom dress, I bet you have those.
I have those,
Because
yes.
for sure. So that's the sort of store you'd want to come into and kind of check out once or twice every week and say hi to Cyrus.
I put 50 to 75 things a day out on the floor.
Wow.
So it changes.
It changes all the time.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And it services the community because you help kind of recycle stuff and things that some didn't quite fit or something like that. It comes through. So now we're going to get into the downtown business sort of prospect. What's the best thing going on in Fremont County in your opinion?
What to say about Fremont County? When I first moved here, I couldn't wait to be paroled. That was about 25 years ago. That's how I felt about it. And in that time frame, I will never live anywhere else. And I think it's our community, how hard we fight for each other.
Yeah.
And I think COVID has even brought that more.
We hear that a lot, and I hate to just kind of beat on this one thing because I always beat on this one thing. Our community is fantastic.
Oh,
you walk by and people are when I've had strangers come from, or friends now, but strangers then come from New York to buy houses or come from Chicago to buy houses, and they're like, people are waving at me and they're really friendly and they say hi. That's weird to me, and I'm like, that would be weird if you didn't.
Isn't that? We
Yeah.
think this is normal, but it really isn't.
Yeah, outside of the the Cañon City area, you don't get a lot of that, and so that's another great thing about our community. Not to mention all the great outdoor stuff. Not to mention all the great downtown stuff. So those are the things I like best. So is there anything else? Let's talk about briefly. When you set up the consignment store, do you have men's stuff too or no?
Just ladies.
Just ladies. So
I thought once upon a time before Sean went in next door, I was going to do a men's consignment, but I just didn't think we'd turn enough.
Right, and the cool thing about Sean being next door, we did her interview last week. The cool thing about Sean being next door, other than she's cool, is it's just another good reason to come down to Main Street to see what we have.
We've got a lot. That
we certainly do.
You can do.
For sure. So last but not least, here's your opportunity to ask me one question.
I wish it was just like but it was mostly what made you think to do these? Where did that come from? Because it's lovely.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. To be perfectly honest, I like to outreach. I like the community. We do a lot of things inside the community. And oftentimes, people in my business, they're always asking. And I'm just looking for a reason to give back and a way to communicate with people and something to give back to our community because I love Cañon City. And when I tell people, I love Cañon City, it's like a salesman because I'm a salesman. I sell houses.
Yeah.
But the honest truth is I love Cañon City. I run the mountain biking club. I run the wrestling club. I help with soccer. I wouldn't raise my kids anywhere else. I love where I live. I love where I live. I love everything about it. So, I'm biased and it's just another great way to give back.
I am
So,
too.
Celeste, I really appreciate your time. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, Chris.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Chris Montoya, who is gonna sell your house? He'll find you one. Who is sold another one?